So, you say you want to step out of the way of your old self and you want to welcome in your new self in the 2021. Here we are. What are you going to do? What steps are you going to take? How are you going to approach your new self? Are you going to be afraid? Do you have the courage? Are you going to develop the courage? Have you developed the courage? What methods are you going to take to welcome the new you? How many goals are you going to set? How many boundaries are you going to set? What bridges are you willing to cross? Let me take you on a journey. In order to become your new self, first and foremost, you need to look at yourself in the mirror. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you see the person staring back at you, whatever, ask yourself this question. Who am I? Who is that person staring back at me? Is this my true self? Is this my ought self or my desired self? Is this a fabrication of me? Am I a shell of myself? Do I feel whole? Internally and externally. When you take a step back and you look at yourself in the mirror, you ask yourself, does the makeup that I'm wearing define me? Does the hairstyle that I'm wearing define me? Does the clothes, the designer clothes, or whatever clothes that you have, that you currently wear, do they define me? Ask yourself these questions. Do I allow others to define me? Do I allow others to have a perception of me that shows me who I ought to be, who I should be, who I should aspire to be? When you look at yourself in the mirror, ask yourself these questions. Does my current situation define me? Does my attitude define me? What type of attitude or what type of disposition do I currently possess? Take a step back. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look at your whole self in the mirror. Ask yourself, you, no one else in the room, standing face to face, and ask yourself, who in the fuck am I? When you take a step back in the mirror and look at yourself, it's going to lead to a plethora of other questions. When you take a step back and look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I really? Some of the questions that may surface in your head is, does my relationship define me? Do I feel that I'm in the right space? Do I feel as though I'm in the right headspace? Do I feel as though I have achieved or accomplished anything in all of the years that I have lived on this earth? What goals have I set for myself? What goals have I accomplished? What are my future goals? What actions am I willing to take to achieve these future goals? How determined am I to reach these future goals? What methods, what steps am I willing to take to step outside of my desired self that other people want to see me as and become my authentic self? Ask yourself these questions. Ask yourself these questions because only you have the answer to these questions. You're standing there, you're looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself these various questions, whatever. You're observing yourself, every crevice of your body, of your skin, your eyes, your nose, your lips, how you've accessorized yourself. It may be like a hair weave or wig, unit, whatever the case may be, natural, whatever the case may be. You're asking yourself this question, who am I? When you look at yourself, are you able to answer that question? Be truthful. Be truthful to yourself. Are you really able to ask yourself this question? Have the opinion of others been a determinant, or have the opinion of other individuals been definitives to answer this question for me. I have given others the baton. I have given other individuals the microphone. I have given others the power to tell me who I am instead of looking in the mirror at myself and telling myself who I really am. Does the opinion of other individuals matter? How long are you going to keep the mask on? When are you going to take the mask off? Whose perceptions are you listening to? Are you listening to your friends, your family, strangers, social media followers? Whose standards are you living up to? Why have you allowed others' standards to override your personal standards? Ask yourself that question. Again, only you have the answer. Feeling misplaced is not uncommon. In fact, it's natural. When you feel misplaced, that means that you are still trying to maneuver your way in life. You are still trying to find a position. You're still trying to figure out, where is it that I need to be? Where is it that I need to go? There's nothing wrong with that. But when you start to feel misplaced, don't stop searching for your actual place. When you start to feel misplaced, don't get stuck. Because once you become stuck, you have lost the challenge of the maze, the life maze that has been set before you. When you become misplaced, you start asking the questions of others. How do I get from A to Z? How do I get from A to B? Not everybody has the answer because only you know where you need to go. When you feel misplaced, force your way through. Push your way through. Develop all the necessary skills. Yeah, you're going to face challenges along the way. Learn from those challenges. Learn from those mistakes. After so many mishaps, after so many F-ups, you can't help but to get it right the next time. Stop feeling misplaced. Stop feeling displaced. Find your place. Self-actualization occurs when a person is able to take full advantage of his or her talent while being mindful of his or her limitations. Nobody in this world is perfect. Everybody screws up from time to time. Even the most successful people have screwed up from time to time. The most successful people in this world have been told no on various occasions. A lot of people have been told no, or they have screwed up. That doesn't mean that they stayed there. That doesn't mean they got stuck. That doesn't mean that they gave up. To become self-actualized, you need to take on these limitations. Take on your pitfalls. Take on the implications that life has set before you. These are only methods, or these are only cobblestones that has been set in your path to build a better you, to build a stronger you, to build a more stable you, to build your strength, your mentality, to build your emotions, to teach you how to tackle the same situation or a different situation in a methodical manner the next time you take on a challenge. To become self-actualized, you have to be mindful in reference to how you behave and how you respond to certain situations. To become self-actualized, whatever, you have to take full advantage of all of the various opportunities that is set before you, and even some of those that is not afforded to you. You take these opportunities because in various situations, whatever, they're not going to be given to you. I must say that as a child, every individual has said what they wanted to be when they grew up. A lot of kids, or as you as a child, said you want to be a doctor, a nurse, a lawyer, a fireman, a police officer, and things like that. A lot of people dream big when they were children, but then they grew up, and a lot of their dreams as children didn't follow them into adulthood. A lot of their dreams didn't follow them because of various situations that could have been situational, environmental, culturally, societally. And whatever. If you're still standing there, or when you get back into the mirror, you look at yourself and you ask yourself the question, who do you aspire to be futuristically? Am I at the position that I want to be? Or is there more that I have to do? Have you taken time to evaluate your current situations? Situationally, emotionally, personally, academically, professionally, socially, or otherwise? Sticking with the concept of you staring at yourself in the mirror, what methods in reference to who you aspire to be futuristically have you taken to rectify your unpleasurable or undesired or stress-provoking situations? What methods have you taken to remove yourself from these situations? Ask yourself these questions. Why do I continue to remain in these situations? Have I developed the inner strength? More so, have I developed the outer strength? Do I necessarily have the strength, period? Who I desire to be futuristically? What goals have you set? Have you written these goals down? Are these goals measurable? Are these goals obtainable, doable? Do you yourself believe in the goals that you have set for yourself? Again, only you have the answer to question. Only you have the answer to these questions. You cannot sit around and let others set goals for you. You cannot sit around and let others tell you who you are going to be futuristically. Okay, you may have parents that pay for your education. You may have parents that set your major when you go to college. They want you to follow the family trends. But based on various researchers, a lot of individuals who have followed the family trends of being doctors, lawyers, they are the most miserable people in the world because they have not developed the ability to stand up to their family and say, no, that's not who I want to be. I want to be something else. I want to be somebody else. But they continue to live up to the standards of their family. They continue to live up to the standards of others. To us, like after so many years, they have forgotten who they really are. It is not until they go through a midlife crisis or have spent 20 or some odd years in this career that they want to quit. They want to speak up. They want to say that, no, this is not for me. I should have been something or somebody else a long time ago. But instead, I lived up to somebody else's standards. But no, I lived up to somebody else's expectations of who they aspire me to be, instead of me doing what I aspired to be a long time ago. So you ask yourself this question. I don't care if you can't answer it today. I don't care if you can answer it tomorrow. I don't care if you are not able to answer it next week. Ask yourself this question over and over and over and over again until you're really able to define who you aspire to be futuristically. Only you have the answer. Setting goals in your life is one of the most profoundest things that you could do. Setting goals, meaning writing down your goals. I don't care if they're short term or whether they're long term. Regardless of whatever the goals you have, write them down, organize them, categorize them. Use the methods that works for you, but write down your goals. If it means keeping a journal, if it means keeping a journal at your on your being or in close proximity, therefore when a thought pops into your head, whatever you have, you can write these goals down. Use your cell phone. It's always on your being. Use your notepad. Write down your goals. But when you write down your goals, there are a few things that you must consider. Going back to your goals, making sure that they are attainable, making sure that the resources that you need to fulfill these goals are attainable. Regardless of whatever the situation you are in, if you have goals, if you have standards, if it's something that you want to do in your life, you can do it. There's no one in this world that can tell you different. There's going to be a lot of people in your lives that is going to try to stop your flow, that is going to try to stop your hustle. You cannot give into these situations. You have to continue to press forward, move forward. If you stop when the first person tells you no, then you never wanted it in the first place. If you stop when the second person tells you no, definitely didn't want it in the first place. That means you're not a fighter. You're not a go-getter. You don't need anybody to tell you yes in order to meet your goals. There's resources available. Personal resources, financial resources, any type of resources that is available. If they're not available, if they're inaccessible, find ways around it, but meet your goals. Categorize your goals as far as saying what is the most limited resource that I can use to attain this goal. The shortest goals. Short-term goals, yeah. It's only going to take me limited resources to attain this goal. And then you start categorizing them based on small amounts up into the larger and greater amounts. But set goals. Set goals for yourself. It's nothing greater. It gives you direction in life. It gives you something to look forward to in life. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people in your life to say, yeah, you don't need to do this or you don't need to do that. Those are not the people for you. Those are the people that's against you. Those are not the people that's trying to ride along with you on this straight and narrow path that you're trying to take. When you set goals, make sure that they're measurable. Make sure that they're realistic. Make sure that they're reachable. When you set goals, whatever, you have to know that you are self-worthy. You have to know your self-worth. You have to know that you have the courage to take on these challenges that this goal-setting process will put before you. Not only that, there's going to be a lot of people in your life that's going to tell you that no, this can't be done. This won't be done. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. No, you can't. If you have goals for yourself, if there's something that you want to achieve in life, if there's something that you want to accomplish, if somebody tells you no, if somebody tells you that you can't, if somebody tells you that you shouldn't, that should only add fuel to the fire underneath you that makes you want it even more. That gives you that burning desire to achieve it even more. And moving forward, and we're going to get to that as far as like the individuals in your lives. In order to set goals in your life, whatever, you have to shift your mentality. You have to move from a negative perspective or a negative attitude and develop a more positive, optimistic disposition. You have to go away with another negative thinking. I don't care how many challenges that falls into your path. I don't care how many hurdles you have to jump over. I don't care how many bridges you have to cross. Scared of heights? Close your eyes and run across the bridge. If you face a hurdle, get you a jackhammer, chisel it, break it in two, climb over it, get some rope, climb over it, do whatever you need to do. Get through it. Accept the change that comes before you. Accept the change that is going to be beneficial to you mentally, physically, financially, emotionally. Accept the change. Stop talking. Stop talking. Stop saying what you're going to do and you don't do it. You don't put forth the effort to do it. Stop talking and do it. You know, a lot of people are so too busy talking to where they don't listen. There's so many positive people that may be in your life that is talking to you and talking to you and talking to you and talking to you and telling you that this needs to be done. But because you're so willing to talk, you're not listening. Because you're so willing to talk, you're hearing them, but you're not listening. You have to get out of your own way. In doing this, whatever, you have to make new connections. You have to cut ties. You have to purge people that's in your life. Yeah. When you start going on the righteous path, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. Your inner circle is going to shift. You may have 100 to 1,000 friends. When you go down the righteous path, a righteous path, you may have only a handful of friends. Because there's going to be some people that's not for you. There's going to be some people that's against you. There's going to be some naysayers. There's going to be a lot of individuals in your inner circle that you thought was your friends that's going to be rooting for you to fail. These are not the people for you. Remove yourself. Surround yourself with positive energy. They said the energy that you put out is the energy that you attract. If you put out negative energy, you attract negative energy. If you put out positive energy, then you start attracting positive energy. All the negative energy is going to dissipate. They're going to disappear. They're not going to want to be bothered because you've changed your attitude, because you've changed your disposition. Going into a new year, being in a new year, 2021, you have to start fresh. You have to start anew. There's going to be changes in your life. Accept these changes. Move forward. Don't look back. When you set goals for yourself, that means you have taken into consideration what it takes to reach these goals. You have written these goals down. You have stood back and you have evaluated the goals that you have set for yourself. Yeah, write down, even when you write down these goals, write down the goals that is not reachable. Write down the goals that is not attainable. Say I want to be a billionaire tomorrow. Not saying that it can't be done, but write it down. These are goals that you set for yourself. Write down and say that I want to be a CEO of my own company, my own multi-billion-dollar or multi-million-dollar company. Set high standards for yourself. Yeah, everybody dreams big. Not everybody sets goals. And not everybody takes actions. When you write down these goals, whatever, you have to be truthful to yourself. When you write down these goals, whatever, you can't shove them into a closet or push it or shove them into a drawer or put them in a file folder on your computer and say, yeah, I've written down my goals, whatever, I'm done. No, that's not how it works. When you just write down goals for yourself, whatever, you have to be constantly reminded about the goals that you have set for yourself. Because when you write it down today, you forget it tomorrow. There's so many individuals, whatever, that forgets, that have short memories, have short tempers, that have short everything. Short memories. From one day to the next. Not sure what happened, what they achieved, what they've done, what they've accomplished. When you set goals for yourself, you have to set goals. When you set goals for yourself, you have to take action. As I was saying before, start with the smallest goals and work out your way up to the biggest goals. Start with the smaller goals that takes low resources, little to no resources. Get those out of the way and then work up to your goals that's going to take a lot of resources, a lot of time, a lot of effort. Regardless of whatever your situation is, accomplish these goals. If you have the means to accomplish big goals, first do so, and then work your way down. But you have to find your own path. You have to maneuver your own way. You have to be determined as far as like how you achieve these various goals that you have set for yourself. Only you can. You can't depend on anyone else to fulfill these goals for you. Because how beneficial are these goals going to be for someone else? The only beneficial that these other persons may get is being able to witness a new you. Being able to witness a person who have accomplished or achieved something in his or her life. Set goals. Exhaust your resources. There is going to be individuals that you have to rely on to achieve these goals. And if these individuals tell you no, then don't let the buck stop there. Move forward. Continue to move forward. Just because that person said no doesn't mean that is a goal that is not reachable. That is a goal that's not attainable. If you wrote this goal down, whatever, then you have some predisposition to say, I can do this. I will do this. I can do this. I'm gonna do this. And after so long, you're gonna say, I did it. With or without the help of these individuals or this individual. Continue to dream big. Continue to set goals. But when you continue to set goals, make sure you continue to take actions. Make sure you have follow through. There's a lot of people in this world that is happy. There's also a lot of people in this world that is unhappy. There is a lot of individuals who have become self-authenticated. And there's a lot of individuals in this world who remains to be a fabrication of themselves. Happiness is stem from being true to yourself and doing what it is that makes you happy, regardless of whatever anybody else thinks, regardless of whatever anyone else feels. It's more so based on establishing a sense of emotional freedom, mental freedom, not having a particular relationship define your happiness, but having positive relationships, having positive connections or ties with other individuals. Happiness means not being perfect. Happiness means being authentic to yourself. Happiness means not mismanaging who you are just to live up to the expectations of or perceptions of others. Happiness means happy, being joyful, living in a satisfied life, living in a pleasant life, something that you define for yourself, something that you have created for yourself. How happy are you with your life? How do you define your own happiness? What challenges have you taken on or overcome to reach your happy place or to reach a content place in your life? To where others' opinion don't even matter to you anymore. It's all about getting back to yourself in order to reach this sense of happiness, to reach a sense of contentment, to reach a sense of positive emotions, positive well-being, positive relationships. Happiness means being self-authenticated. Developing courage means that you have become fearless. You have developed the courage to step into yourself, to show people who you really are, to shut them down, to tell them who you really are, to shut their negative perceptions down and to tell them who you really are. You have developed the courage to come into a new you. You have developed the courage to say that I can, I will. This is who I aspire to be. This is who I desire to be. This is who I'm going to be. Developing the courage means that everything that you do does not have to be perfect, but you're going to do it anyway, as long as it benefits you as a person. And it doesn't take away from who you really are. And it doesn't give in to what others perceive you to be. Developing the courage means that you have accepted who you are. You're not scared. You're not afraid to tell people who you are. You have come to live your true, authentic self and not to give into the concaves of false premises or falsifications of who you ought to be based on others' perceptions or who others want you to be, or what other people tell you that you should aspire to be. Developing the courage means that you have taken it upon yourself to face your fears, to face your challenges, to sustain a certain level of happiness, a certain level of well-being that no one can take from you. Developing a courage means that you are living up to your own values, standards, morals. You are in the driver's seat of your own will. You are writing the chapters of your own book. Developing a courage is essentially being fearless, and in some instances being careless, not caring about what others think of you, not caring about what others may say about you, and not even caring about what others may do to you. You have become your own courage. You have become your own encourager. When it comes to fear versus courage, the only person that you should fear is God. When you start to fear other individuals, what others may think, say, do, or whatever the case may be, that means you have given that person the power over you. You have given that person the power over you to tell you or to influence your behaviors, to influence your attitude, your mental, psychological disposition in ways that goes against you, in ways that has tapped into your new self, that has altered your authentic self. Being fearful of others means that you don't have the courage to stand up to these individuals. Being fearful of others means that you don't really know who you are. Take the time to go back to the mirror and look at yourself and ask yourself, who am I? Not only are you asking yourself the question of who am I, you ask yourself the question of, am I fearful of certain situations? How do I face these situations to where I become fearless? How do I face these situations so that they don't have a hold of me? That these are situations that is not holding me back from being or going where I want to go, achieving the goals that I have set for myself, or reaching the places that I need to be. When you believe in yourself, that means that you are halfway there. that you are coming into your true self, your authentic self, your organic self. Believing in yourself means that you have established the courage. You have become fearless. You don't give in to the perceptions of what others think about you or what others may say about you and what others may do to you. Believing in yourself believing in yourself means that you know that the impossible is possible. Believing in yourself that you know that you can achieve success. You can be prosperous. That you have the capabilities or the mental capacity, the psychological capacity to do what it is that you want to do, how you want to do it, whenever you want to do it. Believing in yourself means that you believe in yourself when nobody else does. You have developed your own self-beliefs. You sit there and you stand at yourself, and you sit there where you stand there in this mirror, and you have asked yourself over and over again, even if you cannot answer this question today, tomorrow, the next day. Continue to ask yourself the question, who am I? Who do I aspire to be? How do others perceive me, even if their perceptions do not matter? Even if their perceptions do not define who you are, who you aspire to be, what goals you set for yourself. What level of success am I willing to reach? Continue to face your fears. Continue to empower yourself. Continue to encourage yourself. Continue to be your authentic self. Know that you can. Know that you will. Know that you are.